Hey everybody, so today I have a tool review. Bosch recently contacted me regarding another tool which I'll be doing a review on soon, and while we were chatting they said, is there anything else you could do with it? And I said, well, to be honest with you, I use a very cheap cordless drill which is really not much good at all. Yeah, this thing was only about 45 quid, but it takes hours to charge, the battery lasts minutes, and it's got no power at all. And they said, well, we'll send you out a drill and you can just do a review and let us know what you think of it. And this is an open, honest review. I'm not being paid for this. Yes, they have sent me the drill, but I will give you my honest feedback. I'm going to do the unboxing now, but the last part of this video, the actual review part, will be in a while once I've used the tool a bit. I'm not one of these people that will open a box, tell you a tool's great without ever using it. So, first things first, this is the Bosch GSB 18V-28. It is a combi drill and it comes in this box. So in the box you have your manuals for both the drill and for the charger. Though to be honest with you, it's very straightforward, but there's some warnings at the front and then some very simple diagrams at the back to explain the controls, but I'll explain those to you anyway. This case, if you notice, has got these latches. It's also got handles on the side here. These are designed to fit into Bosch's stacking system, so you can stack your boxes together and it all holds together, so that's quite a good thing. I only have one tool with this box, but something that maybe will be noted in the future. You get two of the 18-volt batteries in this box. Here is the charger, and then in the box you have a belt clip and a bit holder which you can attach to the drill if you so wish. So here's the drill itself. Let's get rid of the box. So this is just a plain box with these inserts that just sit in there. Okay, I'm 6'4", I'm a pretty big guy, so I've got quite big hands, but this fits in my hand lovely. It's nicely balanced, balances nicely in the middle, feels very, very sturdy. Batteries come off nice and easily and click back on. As for settings, this is a combi drill, so we have all options here. We have screw and then your clutch to decide how much torque you want to put on there before the clutch comes in. Then we click this across to our drilling setting, and that locks this out as I understand it. And then if you want to drill with hammer mode, we just click it to there. Then we have a switch here which is marked number 1 and number 2, and basically that is maximum RPM, it seems. So if I put it into drill mode, slower, much faster. It suggests using it for screws with the clutch in 1, and then 2 is for all 3. But obviously when you're starting screws into a piece of wood or something, it's nice to be able to go a little bit slower. Although it has got a completely variable switch, you can go really slow. Which obviously helps you start off the screw, but it's still got more than enough power in that number 1 setting to suck screws down into chipboard. They're all out of shot because I've done too well. We have a switch here which is obviously your directional controls to do up, to undo, and in the middle it locks out. You'll also notice it has a light here which shines up towards the wall. It's actually quite bright, but I've got a lot of lighting going on in here so you don't really notice it. But that comes on before the drill, which is quite handy, so you can see what you're doing and then get on with it. Okay, so the drill with 1 battery pack, no bits or anything, comes in at 1910 grams, 1911, and that is £4, 3 ounces, 4. So it's got a little bit of heft to it, but it's not too bad at all. It's very rigid. I mean, the battery's got a little bit of play in it. Let's take that out. It is absolutely solid. There is no flex in this whatsoever. Everything is nice and tight. It feels really, really nicely made. I'm a metal artist as well as a YouTuber. I make clocks and things, sculptures out of old motorcycle parts and scrap metal and stuff like that. So I'm generally drilling into steel. So it's going to be really interesting to see how much better this fares, because my other drill into steel was just, oh, it was a painful process. I should mention, because now Ave is a guy, everyone knows about different plastics, PA6GF30, so I think that is fiberglass reinforced 30%, which would be the body plastics, and then it's got an over-moulding of what is being listed as SEBS. That does ring a bell. I think I even know what that is, but I can't think what the words are. I should mention these are obviously lithium-ion batteries. That's why these charge so much faster and have so much more oomph to them compared to the old ones. Right, so chuck goes up to 13mm. It's got the clicky type, and that's nicely in there. What is also is a very nice feature I've noticed is that this front ring is completely free moving. So should you get up close to something, rather than like with this drill, as you can see I have rounded this off and beaten it against stuff as it's turned around and it's knocked and yeah, not good. You can actually rest this against something because it free spins. And on the battery you have a battery level indicator, which is obviously not something you have on my old style of drill either, so I'd never know if I had much charge left. First impressions, this feels really, really, really nice. I do use Bosch tools myself anyway. My angle grinder, which I absolutely swear by, this thing gets used and abused. It is probably my most used tool. It's fantastic. I can't really fault this thing. It does everything I need to do. The only fault I'd actually put on this is this switch is a little bit finicky and annoying to use one-handed. But once you get the knack of it, it's not too bad. But yeah, I really do highly rate Bosch tools. I've used them. I like them. I wouldn't say something that I didn't have experience in using. I've had this thing for like nearly 3 years, I think. And yeah, good as the day I bought it. So now I'm actually going to use this drill in my day-to-day work of making clocks and things. I'm actually going to be doing a wood project with it as well, so that'd be interesting to see because I'm going to be using a 28mm spade bit, and let's see if this has got the torque to rip its way through some wood using that. So the next part of the video will be filmed in a week or two once I've used this for different projects and I can give you my thoughts and feedback on it, any improvements I'd like to see. You'll only have to wait a few moments for that though. To me in the future. Okay, so it's actually been a few weeks since Bosch sent me this drill and I've used it in a variety of different jobs, and I have to say I absolutely love this thing. I'm not being paid to make this video, I'm not being paid to say anything, this is completely my honest opinion. I said that from the beginning with them. If I ever had any problems with it or any little bits that I didn't like, I will mention it. And I can't actually find anything about this drill that I don't like. I'm coming from the background of using, you know, very much DIY entry-level type drills, which they're nothing compared to this sort of level of drill. And this is an older design and style and motor type and all of that. But the difference of using this compared to that is massive. What this is capable of doing, what tools it's able to run, for how long it can run them, is actually given me so many more options and made a lot of things a lot easier, because I can just grab this to drill into concrete or drill into metal or screw or drill, whatever I need it to do. It's been perfect. Okay, so the jobs that I've done with this up until now to test it out is, well, we made a video making the camera slider that this is currently being filmed on out of wood, and in doing that I used a 22mm spade bit, and this just absolutely ate through the treated timber that I was making the end pieces out of. Loads of torque, loads and loads of torque. So I was able to run that spade bit with absolutely no hesitation. Really, really good. Compared to, I mean, this just, I wouldn't have even really tried with this, it wouldn't have worked. Other jobs that I've used this for include drilling into steel. I think it's 4mm steel. But I found this to be great because it's got such variable speeds in drilling. It can go from very, very slow up to very fast, depending on what setting you have it on. And even at its very slowest of speeds, it's still got tons of torque. So depending on what size bit you're using, you can run the drill however fast or slow you need it to. And I found that to be great for when I'm drilling into some of the metalworks that I do. Because rather than using the drill press where I have to, you know, change the belts and everything to vary the speed, I can just change the bit and just go whatever speed feels best at the time. So I've been doing quite a lot of the drilling I would be doing on my drill press with this now, because it can do it. I've also used it on a masonry job. We had to hang a second handrail for my my elderly mum who wasn't too well to help her get down the stairs. And this thing ripped through, I think, I can't remember if it was 16 or 19 6mm holes into a variety of brick, breeze block, and other different stones. It was the back end of the chimney breast, so it was very thick, had a variety of different materials. But this, in hammer mode, absolutely rip through them. The hammer on it does seem to be at just the right frequency to just get it to peck through. I've also done a couple of other jobs with this that I really don't think these are intended to do because it's long running time or longer running time. But I ran a wire brush on this when I was making some clocks recently, and it didn't even get that hot at all. It wasn't in any way a concern. It seemed to just cope with it no problem. Same as I recently painted a motorcycle tank for Lex Moto, and I used a buffing wheel on this to polish out the clear coat, and again, long running time, not a huge amount of load, but there is some load there. Didn't get really hot. It's been faultless. I can't complain. You know, I'd love to have a thing to complain about because it, you know, people then tend to believe you're being honest more, but I'm just singing its praises. Battery life is absolutely fantastic. This one battery from fully charged, and we think, what jobs do I do with this? Well, I drilled those, I think it was 19 holes and probably 15 minutes of wire brushing with it. I've also drilled a load of sort of random holes and put popping screws and things in and out of stuff. I also polished the motorcycle tank using one charge. I probably, even though this couldn't have done the job because it couldn't go fast enough to run a wheel, even if it did, I know I would have had to have recharged this like 5 times, and it would take hours to recharge it, like overnight. So the battery's lasting that long and only taking what seems like a couple of hours to charge has been so, well, it's made me so much more productive because I'm able to just get on. There was times before it was like, oh well, I can't do that now, I'll have to plug the drill in overnight. Now I can just stick this in and go for it. I did warn you, I'm a big fan of this drill. One of the other things I've absolutely loved is the chuck on this. It's so quick to jump between jobs. So I thought, well, as a slight demonstration, I'm not going to try and do anything stupidly quick or anything like that. I'm just going to unscrew a few things, drill a couple of holes, screw a few things in it. Hopefully that will show you the sort of the speed and how this tool is to handle the ergonomics of it. So first thing, let me tell you that. So, get it in, see it's fitting up nicely, and then just twist it, and that really grabs hold. So just pop these out. Oh. So put it in screw mode, clutch in the middle. Get a high speed. And we can just switch out to a drill. I just get it to catch and then do the last bit by hand. So just undo that. Screw that in. See, if you hold on to it, it will suck those heads right on down. Try another one without countersinking it. Well, there you go. Just to give you an idea of the torque, it's just sucked that head all the way through this piece of wood and split this one. Well, there's the same screw. It's basically sucked it almost all the way through. So as you can see, it's got tons and tons of power. Obviously you might not want to use that much power, so you just turn the clutch down a bit. I think you can get it absolutely flush with the surface. So you can just adjust your clutch depending on the softness of the wood and the different fittings you're using, and get just the result you want. Keep in mind, as I mentioned before, all the work that I've done with this battery already, we're still on one light remaining, and it's still running like this. It isn't slowing down. So I hope that shows you that it is very quick to jump between tools and do jobs. Even if you've only got one drill and you're doing drilling and then screwing, it's not that much work to jump between the two, but obviously, you know, ideally if you're doing both regularly you'll have two. Okay, I thought I'd do another couple of examples. This will be in drill mode, speed 1, and we're using a 16mm spade bit on this piece of 2x4. It's old, it's dry, so let's just see how this goes. So that was on the slower setting. Should we try on the faster setting? Keeping in mind again, this battery has done a load of work already. 2 nice holes. Good stuff. Next up, piece of 8mm mild steel. This has still got its mil scale on it, so it's very tough on the outside. And I'm going to go for a 5.5mm hole. This drill bit is not brand new. It's had a bit of use, so it's not the sharpest thing in the world. Just a little guide with a centre punch. A little bit of oil. Oh. A bit faster. So there's no faltering, you can hold it at a nice constant speed. I might not have the speed quite right here, and this drill might be a little blunter than I at first realised. But we'll keep going. It's done great. Okay, so this is a concrete edging stone. It's the best thing I can find. We'll go for an 8mm masonry bit, and we'll be in hammer mode. Should we try with a fresh battery, see if there's any difference? Of course, battery swap out is very easy. Just unplug the old one, get the new one, which you can check to see if it's charged. See, we've got 3 green lights. And there we go. Okay. That actually has got more pep. Do you notice how quickly that got through? There you go. 3 holes through an edging stone. So there you go. I don't think there's anything more I can actually say about this, because it's just done its job perfectly. Is there anything on it I could say I don't like? I don't think so. As I say, I've used some Bosch tools up until now, and my experience with Bosch tools has always been very positive. I've got nothing I can say against them. If I did, I would, but I haven't, so I can't. Your charger fits in there nicely. You've got extra space in here for extra bits and pieces, and then it all closes up. And as I say, if you have Bosch tools already with this system, it all stacks together. So what more can I say? This is an absolutely fantastic tool that has done everything I've asked of it, and it's actually opened up a few sort of options to me that I didn't have before, because this can do things that the lower level drills just, they can't do it. Huge thanks to Bosch for sending this to me. As I said, this is my honest opinion. I'm not paid anything for this. They did give me the drill, but I did specify when they very first contacted me that I will only give my honest opinion. If I find any issues with it, I will say if I have any. And yeah, I can't give you any. If you're after a professional level drill, this is an absolutely fantastic contender. I have used other drills. I've used DeWalt's and things, and I've found that this is stacked up perfectly against them. The build quality seems to be just as good, and I think the price on these is a little bit lower for what you get. So yeah, definitely a good option. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you found this useful. If you really like this video and want to help support this channel, maybe join my Patreon. Subscribe to the channel and all those wonderful things. Otherwise, I'll catch you next time. Oh, and check out the Spicy 110 Metalworks. You can see what I use my tools for most of the time. Links in the description. Have a look. Bye! If you enjoyed this video and the other content on the channel, please consider following the links in the description to show your support.